Yes! 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 I'm literally playing Yiik right now. I'm like...
Yes! One of the strangest I've ever received. And no,
Hey, who's there?
I'm having goosebumps. I don't know if you can see. The hair on my arm is sticking up.
I sighed as the elevator began to shake.
Yes!
Motion.
I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. Sorry, I gotta calm down. I can't. I gotta calm down. I gotta... Good. It was pretty good. Honestly, it was pretty good. So far, everything I hoped a Yiik update would be. Hey guys, it's me, Crab, and it's time to talk about some video games, okay? A couple weeks ago, I streamed the new demo for the update/remake of Yiik, a postmodern RPG. And I know I'm a little late to the review party, but I left with a lot of things to say about it. But what even is Yiik? Okay, why am I so hyped about this game? If you already know about this game and the reviews and some of the controversy the game got into, you can skip to this time code here. But for those who don't, Y2K, a postmodern RPG, is an indie video game inspired by games like Earthbound, Persona, Paper Mario, but when it came out, it got into a lot of controversy and really bad reviews for several reasons. For one, people found the gameplay to be extremely tedious. It was a turn-based RPG, but to get into a battle, you had to watch a loading screen. Then to use skills or deal damage, you would have to play these weird mini games that would go on for 5 to 10 seconds at a time, leading to some battles going on for 15 minutes. The writing and the dialogue in the game was some truly bizarre stuff.
smooth plastic skin, slick curves, and a perfectly sculpted face that reminded me of one of the anime girls on Claudio's shirt.
With the main plot revolving around finding a missing girl inspired by the real-life death of Elisa Lam. And many people found that distasteful because this missing girl is like the inciting plot device for the entire game, made even weirder by the fact that she's one of the main character's love interests. The main character, by the way, Alex Eagleston, people found him to be extremely unlikable because he went on these insanely long monologues that would go on for tens of minutes at a time.
Bella's words buzzed in my ears, like a bee hovering around my head. It was waiting to sting, waiting to have its full impact. From my bedroom window, you could...
They even released an update to the game, so you can play the game in reduced monologue mode. Another problem with the writing was that the tone was all over the place, dealing with some very heavy topics like racism and racial inequality, juxtaposed with colorful cartoon graphics and internet memes and happy RPG game music.
You act like they even tried. A 4-year-old black kid goes missing in a shit neighborhood, and you think they really tried?
Oh god, oh jeez, I mean, like, do we have to do this? I mean, we don't want to make it all racial in here. I mean, I'm totally unprepared. I don't
remember this being on the news or anything. How the hell did this get national coverage?
Isn't it obvious, man?
I'm sure if Aaron had been a beautiful white woman, everyone would have cared that he vanished.
That's just the way it works.
I don't think I ever gave it any thought.
Yeah, man, that's just how they get away with it. People like you don't think about it.
fucking music, man. Whee! I'm jumping around in the mountains. Whee! I don't understand the struggles of blacks. Action, platforming, adventure.
To give an example, in one of Yiik's most iconic scenes, there's this part of the game where one character, Rory, leads your party through this really long sewer level to search for his missing sister. But at the end of the level, he reveals that his sister committed and she was dead the entire time.
My 12-year-old sister killed herself. She died right here. Right where we're standing.
Hey, dude, cool it with that!
No one cares about your sister right now. We almost just died ourselves.
And it was supposed to be this super emotional and shocking twist. But then it immediately cuts to a boss fight with clown music where you have to fight a yellow alpaca that says lemonade.
Bella, will you tell me what the hell is going on? What is all this about?
I think it's a golden alpaca. Damn it, we need to run! Come on, let's get out of here!
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
This character, Rory, by the way, also may or may not commit depending on the choices you make in the game. And you can kiss him.
Well, thinking about my sister, and yeah, let's go find the android or something. Hey, no, yeah, don't do that again.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
So, you know, there's that. But by far, the most controversial thing that happened with this game was the lead writer going on to this podcast with a prepared statement to talk shit about all of the critics and just video games as an art form because of the mixed reviews and controversy the game got into.
Okay, so actually, I've got a thing I prepared about this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
My mistake was thinking that video games are art. I wanted to make a game about a guy who's like a piece of shit, unlikable character who by the end of the game has to transform.
Yeah.
But too many gamers, they're so used to having to identify with the character that if they play a game where the main character is unlikable or has to do some bad stuff, they immediately get triggered by it. Games aren't art. They're toys for children, and it's considered in bad form to talk about anything meaningful or impactful or thought-provoking. I was trying to make basically the video game version of like a Chuck Palahniuk novel.
All of this is just barely scratching the surface of this game, this enigma. I talked a lot more about the various shenanigans in my last live stream, but honestly, you could make a whole video about all of the things that went wrong in Yiik, and people have. There's so many videos about this game. It's a pretty crazy rabbit hole to go down, but over the years, the developers, they've been working on a brand new update for Yiik, and it's going to be essentially a complete remake of the game. It'll have new characters, new music, new story elements, an entirely new battle system, just tons of new content. And a couple weeks ago, they released the demo, and that's what I want to talk about, because I streamed the whole thing. But I think I should probably clarify my fascination with this game before getting into my thoughts, because like most people, the way I heard about this game was through all of the videos made about it. I watched the Jack Saint video, I watched the Zingus video, and I must have seen the Running Shine video like 20 times by now. I went into this demo already knowing all of the characters, all of the iconic scenes and the quotes, and the general plot of the game, and even the drama and controversy behind the game, because I thought it was really funny. I thought those videos were really fucking funny, to be honest. But the more I thought about that after editing my stream, I realized that kind of sucks, honestly. I think I came across pretty annoying, because I haven't played this game before. I literally never even bothered to play this game that I know so much about. I just came into this demo as a joke, because I'm pretty funny, I'm pretty ironic like that. But I and most of the internet just got their opinion about this game from those videos. And while reviews are helpful and important tools for consumers to decide where to spend their hard-earned dollars, they shouldn't be like the ultimate say in whether a game is good or deserves to be talked about. In order to actually fully form an opinion about something, you kind of have to actually engage with the thing you're talking about. Otherwise, the most you can say is, I've heard Yiik is a shit game. I've seen other people on YouTube talk about how Yiik is a shit game. So long story short, in this video, I'm gonna take the game seriously, okay? I'm gonna try to be as honest as possible with my thoughts. I'll start off with what I actually liked. During the stream, I compared playing this game to overdosing on NyQuil and having an out-of-body experience. And honestly, that's probably the best way I could describe the art direction in this game. So much of the cutscenes, visual effects, and environments feel very psychedelic and drug-inspired. This game is trippy as hell. I love how when you get into a battle, it plays this really cool effect where the screen shatters into the battle screen and it's just instant. There's no loading whatsoever, and I love how abrupt the battles end also. It just plays this little trumpet sound and all the characters do a little dance and you're back into the game just like that.
Okay.
I love the new battle screen with the abstract backgrounds that change color depending on whose turn it is or when you get hurt, and I love that the battle commands all have little 3D icons, and how whenever you use an item, Alex looks down at this little lunchbox and he's like, which item will I choose? Oh, dude. And the music? This music is good. The battle music complements the art style perfectly. It's really good. The music is really fucking good. Can I just say, it should be an industry standard for every RPG to have more than 1 or 2 battle themes. Throughout the time I played this demo, the demo for a video game, not a full video game, just the demo, I heard at least 5 different battle themes, and that's really fucking good. More games should do that. Don't just have one battle theme, have an entire playlist of battle themes. But yeah, let's talk about the combat, because that's obviously the biggest thing they spent the most time improving, and it's pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun. They went away with the weird Mario Party mini games, and now combat is more like a card game. You have these things called cartas, which are basically just cards, and on the battle screen you get to have 3 cartas, and each carta can act like a shield. So if an enemy wants to damage your health, they have to break all of your cartas. But you can also sacrifice your cartas to use them as an attack or support item in battle. And each carta does different things. They have different stats and different effects depending on the ones you use. Some enemies have their own cartas as well, and just like the player, they act as shields or attack and support items. So in order to actually damage an enemy's health, you need to destroy their cartas, and vice versa. Once all the cartas are destroyed, you become vulnerable, and if you get hit, you'll enter this bleed state where this vampire lady pops out and says, "Bleed for me." You're going to bleed to death. Jesus Christ. And then Alex will scream really loudly every time he gets hit. The sound he makes when he gets hurt is a little extreme. I feel like that should be the sound he makes when he dies. The thing I didn't understand by the end of the demo was how to replenish your cartas in or out of battle, or where to get more, because Alex only had 1 carta for the whole thing, but I imagine there will be much more later in the game, and maybe you'll even get to buy them in stores. And then party members will be able to have their own cartas as well. You'll be able to set which cartas they use in battle, and that sounds crazy. It sounds like this can be a very intricate system that will be a lot of fun to play around with. It's hard to give a full review of the combat because this is just a demo. You know, I only had 1 carta for the entire thing, so I'm gonna have to play more of the game to fully understand how the combat works. And you know what? I actually want to. I actually really want to. This demo left me wanting more of the combat. I thought it was really fun and unique, and that's great. I saw something crazy in the settings menu also. Battle log. Revert to old battle mode. Now that's fucking cool. So it looks like they're going to have the ability for you to switch between the old and new battle system just in the settings menu, and that's insane. I'm really happy to see them planning to do that, because it would have been so much easier for them to just remove the old battle system from the game entirely and pull another Cube World. If you don't know, Cube Worlds was another indie game that was in alpha for a really long time, and it blew up because a lot of YouTubers made videos about it. I played it back in the day as well. I thought it was pretty fun. It was kind of like World of Warcraft in the style of Minecraft, but it stopped getting updates for a really long time until almost a decade later, when the full release of the game came out of nowhere, and it sucked. It made huge changes to a lot of the core mechanics of the game, and nobody liked it. People got pretty angry. I highly doubt that'll be the case for Yiik 1.5. Like, I'm sure just about everyone who plays this will say the new battle system is just much better, but it's so cool. They're planning to let you toggle the battle systems back and forth from the settings menu, just like that. That must have taken a lot of work to balance it out, and I hope they have even more customization options for other changes they made in the demo, which which soon I'll get into. Let's talk about the new intro for the game. The game opens with an animated intro sequence with all the main characters and the main theme. Then there's this cutscene of these people shooting at Claudio in his store in this slightly awkward animation. Looks like these people are wearing sunglasses. Missing. There's 2 people missing. He is Daddy. Kiss kiss, the hot mama. Then it cuts to an entirely different location where Alex is chained on top of a tower, and then you play as this girl called Allison? Carrie? The Nameless Child? What the f? There was a lot of stuff going on in the new introduction to the game. You see a lot of characters that won't get properly introduced until later in the story. I kind of got the impression that you're supposed to already know who these characters are, which is a interesting choice if that's the case. I'm gonna be honest, the intro was kind of a chore to get through. There was a lot of characters telling you to go get things, and then to go to this place, then go to another place, then go backtracking to the other place. Bathe in fire. Ascend the mountain. Now go to the party. Can I go here? You're banished. Fuck, man. Now go to the I don't know where the party is, bro. Carrie, seek the good brother. Man, there's a lot of telling me to do things in this game.
What? You're not on the guest list.
How do I get on the guest list?
What do you want?
I don't know, man.
The party? Why the hell do you want to go there?
Because the game told me to.
Do you want to go to the party or not?
Sure. Did he say where the party was?
I am destroyed. You were invited to the party.
Were you not invited? Are you jealous of my party invitation?
You see, I was paid a handsome sum to reject you.
Find the Self, the Son, and the Holy Thief. There's a lot of finding going on in this game. Should I be taking notes? I feel like I should be taking notes. I'm gonna take a note. The Self, the... Alright, let's go. Dude, I don't know where to go. Can I go on the blue one instead? Seek which belongs to you. I found myself getting pretty confused and annoying, which wasn't helped by the weird music and sound effects in the area. The music in this area especially is really bad, if you can even call it music. It's just beeping. This is like having a bad trip.
You're not on the guest list.
Putting on VR. What is that sound? It's like frogs. What the fuck? I genuinely don't know what they were thinking here. Like, guys, it'd be really cool if the music in this area here just goes cheep, cheep, cheap, and let's make the player character make frog sounds for every single step they take through the rest of this intro. Someone in chat told me, I'm not saying I could make a better game, but geez. Yes, my favorite part of every game, the repetitive, aimless backtracking through areas multiple times. You're just not in the right mindset to play this game. You need to be in the, like, avant-garde mindset, okay? You need to be in the postmodern mindset. And then later, he said that this game looks like shit, and if he was playing the game, he would just uninstall and refund and move on to something else. And on some level, I kind of have to agree with the chatter. I mean, obviously, this is just like a personal preference kind of thing, but like, if I wasn't already a fan of Yiik because of the memes and the characters and all the drama and the videos about it, and I just happened to get this thing recommended to me on Steam without knowing anything about it, I'd probably do the same thing as the chatter. The opening to your game is really important stuff. For me, if a game doesn't just get to the point and start off with me actually doing something fun, then I'm just gonna move on to something else. Like, I'm sorry, there's only so many games and so many dollars and so much time I'm willing to spend on a game. Now, I'm not the average consumer because I love Yiik, okay? When I wake up in the morning, I think of Yiik. When I eat my breakfast, I think of Yiik. When I go to work, I think about Yiik. When I come home and eat dinner, I think about Yiik. And when I go to sleep, I dream about Yiik, okay? I fucking love Yiik. But right now, the first 30 minutes of the game is an introduction cutscene with tons of characters that won't properly get introduced until later in the story. Then it's just walking around and backtracking and talking to NPCs with weird cryptic dialogue, all while listening to these weird frog sound effects and bad music. The sound of the sneakers is driving me insane. I don't know what any of this has to do with the main plot of the game or any of the cutscenes we saw earlier. I don't know what role this Carrie or Allison character is going to play in the story, but if she's going to be a party member for battles at one point in the game, then I think this would have been a much better area to introduce combat and have us fight mobs along the way. But I mean, if you know where to go and which items to get, it doesn't take that long, I guess. But I'm just not sure why this needed to be the new introduction to the game, because after, the game just starts like normal and you have to get your bearings all over again. It's pretty weird. Another big change was that they remade all of Alex's monologue scenes, and it looks like they're going to be remaking a lot of the cutscenes as well to use the 3D models instead of the iconic talk sprites that we all love, which is understandable because apparently the original artist for Yiik was unavailable during development for 1.5, so that means we won't be getting any new portraits for any of the new characters in the game, but I still have mixed feelings about this approach. Basically, whenever Alex monologues, it plays this little sound effect and animation with a microphone icon. Holy. And the entire scene switches to Alex holding a microphone in like a bar, and it's like he's doing stand-up comedy or giving a TED talk or something. And I can see why they did it. These new scenes allow them to have animations that actually show what Yiik is talking about instead of just saying it, which is cool. But I think if they really wanted to remake all of the cutscenes and monologue scenes, I kinda wish they spent the extra effort to remake the models for some of the characters as well, because they just look really weird to me. They still just look really weird. I'm sorry, but like, it's weird that only some of the characters' mouths move while they're talking and everyone else just has 1 or 2 static facial expressions, and sometimes they even blink. Alex's face is just strange. It's weird they decided to render every beard, hair, and tooth and make him look like really angry all the time.
Hey now, that's lame. You can tell me anything, no judgment here.
He's so angry. He looks so angry.
No judgment? Great lie. I like a good liar.
for most of these models, I don't feel like they were made for cinematic cutscenes and animations, and especially close-up shots like these. Like, like what's going on here? what am I looking at? In the original game and other RPG games like Yiik, you saw the 3D models of the characters in battle and on the overworlds, but for the most part, during cutscenes, the focus is on the talking portraits of the characters instead. The 3D models are just sort of there in the background to help set the scene. But these new monologue scenes and cutscenes with lots of dialogue that just use the 3D models, they're just awkward. There's just something off about them.
Wait for me! Good brother!
Is he the good brother? Okay. The camera angles are really weird. Like I said, a lot of the shots are super close up to the point where you can only see like one of the characters' eyes or like their nose or their mouth. Then there's lots of Dutch angles and shots with shaky cam for some reason, but only in some of the shots. The rest of the shots don't have shaky cam. Then there's this weird vertical letterbox effect with an animated pattern in the background that's just kind of distracting, honestly. But other scenes just have normal black bars for the letterbox, while other scenes don't have any letterbox at all. It's really inconsistent, and I'm not sure what they were going for stylistically. I don't know what made them choose to make some scenes have letterboxes or some scenes have shaky cam. To me, it just feels kind of random. I'm not sure what they were going for. All these new monologue scenes, they kind of just break the pacing of the game. They make me more confused than anything. Like, instead of just seeing Alex's talk sprite slide onto the screen, you have to watch the little microphone animation, pause whatever music is playing, get used to the new camera angle. Then fade to black and fade back to the scene before the monologue. It just adds a good extra 5 or 7 seconds to the scene that weren't there before. And with all the monologues in the game, I get the feeling like those 5 seconds, they're going to add up. Let me give an example to sort of illustrate my point. There's the scene where Alex gets home and reads the note from his mom that tells him to get groceries, and then he complains about his mom.
Pick up some groceries. I've included a list below.
Not even home 5 minutes and she's already barking orders at me.
Pick up some groceries. I've included a list below.
Okay.
Not even home 5 minutes and she's already barking orders at me.
Okay. So like, did we really need to change the whole scene just so Alex can complain about his mom in one sentence? It's just interesting to me, because one of the main complaints in the original game was Alex's monologues. People really didn't like those, but in this version, it's almost like the devs doubled down by making them longer, which is pretty brave. I'll put it that way. If nothing else, it's more visually interesting than looking at Alex's talking portrait, I guess. But was that ever really the issue? I don't know. I'm sure there's a bunch of other changes that flew over my head because I haven't played the original version of the game. But one of the ones I noticed was they remade the animation of Alex getting off the bus at the beginning of the game. And I don't know why they did that. It objectively looks better than the original animation, don't get me wrong, but did they really need to remake it? That just kind of stuck out to me as pretty odd. Like, I'm not sure why they bothered. It gave me a little bit of George Lucas Star Wars Special Edition vibe, you know what I mean? I don't think many people were complaining that this one particular bus animation at the very beginning of the game was like super unpolished or something. And I kind of feel like the same could be said about the monologue scenes. Did they need to remake it? No. But it's a feature. It's there. On the other hand, though, I actually really like some of the new animations and cutscenes in the game. They feel very inspired and trippy and memorable. I like this scene where the crow is watching a TV show that shows what Alex is seeing, and then he jumps through the TV and appears in real life. That was pretty trippy. What the fuck?
Okay, deep breath.
I like this scene here where it zooms out to show multiple Alexes trying to catch Sammy, which kind of foreshadows a later reveal in this story. And the score for some of these is fucking great also. The score where Michael talks to the camera demon. That's Michael. That's Michael. And the score when Elisa Lam gets taken from the elevator.
Please! Please don't touch me! Not again! Let me be! You promised you wouldn't move me again!
What?
Please don't!
I think the game does a great job of creeping you out when it really wants to. And honestly, some of these scenes, I think if the directors wanted to, they'd be able to make a really good horror game. I'd love to see that if that was their next project. And another thing I really love, they kept in a lot of the classic lines that made this game pretty funny. They kept in the line where Alex says, "I sighed as the elevator began to shake, vibrating with motion." And then the monologue scene is Alex vibrating, and
I sighed as the elevator began to shake.
Yes!
Motion.
I thought that was really funny. That actually made me laugh. One of the main concerns I had with this update was that they were going to rewrite a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the classic "so bad they're good" lines that made this game funny. But luckily they kept that one in, and in the introduction scene, when it introduces Rory, it says "no one cares about Rory," and that's hilarious because that was another meme, like the "no one cares about your dead sister." Little Easter eggs and things like that, and that the official YouTube account for Yiik is called Alex Yiik. I'm just really happy to see that the developers are owning it. They're owning the meme. They're owning how the game was received. That was just really wholesome to see, I guess. But okay, let's wrap this up, because at this point I think I'm like starting to overanalyze and nitpick like a lot, because again, obviously this is just a demo. I think I would have to play the entire game to give a full review, but from what I've seen so far, I love the new combat, I love the new music, and for the most part I love the new presentation. The art style and the UI is pretty cool, even though some of the animations and character models are still a bit iffy, and I don't really care for the new introduction to the game, honestly. And a lot of the other changes, like the new monologue scenes, felt pretty odd and unnecessary to me. But would it truly be Yiik if it didn't have at least some level of strange decisions and jank here and there? I don't think so. As someone who came into this game as like an ironic joke, hoping to have a good laugh, I didn't leave disappointed, but I also left having a lot of fun. I thought the game was pretty fun, and by the end of the demo, I was fully on board with this thing. I was curious to see where it was gonna go next. This was my genuine reaction to when the demo ended. That's it? Genuinely, I have goosebumps. I showed you, I told you already, but dude. and I think that's a good sign. I think this shows a lot of potential. We weren't owed this update. As far as the devs were concerned, they finished this game all the way back in 2018. So we're lucky to have this at all things considered. But let's get into the big question. Would I recommend playing this? Well, here's what I think. I think if you've seen all the videos about this game and have developed like this strange fascination with this game like I have, then yeah, I think you should. I think you should give it a shot. So far with this demo, I think it deserves that at least. And again, the demo is free. It's free to download, and apparently the save file for the demo will be transferable to the main game when it comes out. So if you like it, you can buy the game. If not, you don't have to. Just know what you're getting into, I guess. You have to like view this game in a very particular lens. I, for one, am gonna play this shit out of this game when it comes out. Because I meant it when I said I wanted to give this an honest shot. I'm in it for the long haul, alright? I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like the video, then smash the